Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was for a while considered to be probably the worst film in the franchise until Dominion reared its ugly head, and just like the previous film, Rexy doesn't get much screen time. The opening scene has Rexy chase after some hired mercenaries who came to the island to get a DNA sample of the Indominus, and overall all I can say is that she just chases one of them, has a tug of war with the helicopter, and that's about it. I think by this point in the film, given Jurassic World had been closed for a few years at this point, she probably won't have been interested in chasing after humans, given she would have become used to hunting larger prey by this point. But at the same time, I guess, well, the dude would make for a decent snack, so there's that. The next scene with Rexy shows her just randomly killing a Carnotaurus despite a volcano erupting right behind her, and the only reason she buggers off is because the shockwave of the blast hits her, and she snaps out of her aura farming moment meant as teaser trailer material. As a side note, I was 12 when this film came out, and remember all the hype from people like the Gaming Beaver and similar channels theorising what might happen. And now, we're only 2 years away from this movie being a decade old, but it feels like just yesterday I got to see this film for the first time. Where did that time go? Now that we're off the island and on a ship heading to the mainland, we get simultaneously the most realistic and unrealistic scene in this entire movie in relation to Tyrannosaurus. Blue the Velociraptor is shown to be wounded, and it's stated the humans need a blood transfusion to save her. Good news, there's a blood donor on board. Bad news, it's Rexy. Now, this video is focused on the behaviour, but I do think it's worth noting that this more than likely wouldn't work in real life. Velociraptor and Tyrannosaurus are separated by millions of years of evolution, fill completely different niches, and one is a lot larger than the other. I mean, this is like if your cat was dying, and instead of using blood from a cat of the same blood type, you use blood from your local zoo's grizzly bear. Anyway, back to Tyrannosaurus behaviour. The realistic side to this is when Rexy wakes up and starts roaring, trying to move around in the confined space the poachers put her in. This is like what I pointed out with Buck in the Lost World, in that Rexy here has just woken up in an alien environment. So the best conclusion is that, while yeah, this is meant so we have a dramatic scene of Owen jumping through her mouth, it's understandable for Rexy to be stressing out in this situation. My family personally has a cat that doesn't really like confined spaces, and there's also people in real life that suffer from claustrophobia, and would more than likely have the same reaction as Rexy if put in this situation. Afterwards, we get some shots that don't really mean much. We see Rexy get transported to another cage, eat the bad guy of the film, and have a standoff with a lion. Overall, this depiction comes across more like a movie monster, apart from the part of her stressing out in her container. Since 1 minute her home was blowing up and the next minute she's been put in a container barely big enough for her. I'd say this is a 75-25 mixture between animal and movie monster, leaning towards movie monster.